After the required morning coffee stop, we took US Highway 191 up to State Highway 128, which is what you see here. We followed the Colorado River northeast about 30 miles before turning right onto the gravel trailhead. The turnoff for it is just before the highway crosses over the river. About 200 feet from the hardtop, there is a parking area with a public restroom. We stopped to air down and also took a few moments to look at what remains of the original Dewey suspension bridge. The old bridge was built in 1916 and was in use until the new bridge was completed in 1988. The suspension bridge was restored in 2000 and used for bikes and foot traffic, but it was destroyed in 2008 by a wildfire. Once again, being early on a weekday worked in our favor, and we saw little traffic on the way here, and as far as we could tell, we were the first ones on the trail. It was only once we got near the top that we had a side-by-side pass us from behind. We never saw any vehicles coming in the opposite direction until we started our way back down. The obstacles start out relatively easy, but that didn't stop me from wallowing around on the first ledge like a noob. It took me several tries, a spotter, and an OSHA inspector, aka Brian, just to get over it. On the previous day we did Hell's Revenge and took the exit that is just past the newly reopened staircase and off to the right. That was a real test of the skid plates, and the Jeep Badge of Honor app has it rated as a 3 to 6. This trail is rated as 6 to 8, so at this point I'm beginning to wonder if I'd gotten too ambitious. I warned my wife that I'd probably need more spotting assistance, and Brian was also good about getting out to assist. But it turns out the subsequent obstacles, even the ones that earned this trail the rating it had, weren't really an issue. A little adult supervision is just what you need sometimes, but the early struggle had my wife talking about needing bigger tires, and I thought I was going to have to convince her. Here's the first really challenging obstacle. You have the choice of a ledge or a higher undercut ledge. Against the rock wall is the lower side, and some folks had already stacked a few rocks to help the driver's side tires up. The next step up though is at an angle to your approach and tries to push your vehicle to the left towards the camera. You have to figure out a way to get your front tires to bite and climb that step too.
Actually, keep it going this way. Hold on. So yeah, a little more this way. Right. Okay, you can come up here on the driver. Okay, cut passenger here now, and you're just gonna climb up back here. All right, try straighten it out. There's another little ledge right here that might work. You're up. Oh. Now you're on half the tire right there. Little rock, you're good now. Ledge there. There you go.
We went ahead and got Brian up the next obstacle too, since it was close. A side benefit is that we could use his Jeep as an anchor point for the winch if things got rough.
Hug that right side.
Same song, different verse. I'm not thinking this is going to go well, but we go after it anyway. And then, with a little two-pedal action, the diesel climbed right up. Once again, I'm reminded of just how capable these things are. I think Brian had me turn against the second step in a better spot though. As I move the camera to the next obstacle, I'm starting to feel like we might have a solid shot of completing the trail. Whether or not the confidence was warranted, it reminded me of a t-shirt I saw in town. It read, "Confidence, the feeling you get before you fully understand the situation." As we continued our journey to the top of the world, we encountered dirt to ledge, rock to ledge, dirt, rock, sideways ledge, reverse ledge, diagonal ledge, rock bump to ledge, and turn onto ledge with a small crevice added for flair. Before we started, Brian was telling my wife and I what he was told by a friend. And that was that this trail is long and bumpy, but the view at the top made it all worth it. Bumpy is an understatement, and I think that was magnified a bit by how front-heavy the diesel is. I had to go slower than I'd like to stay out of the bump stops, and I apologized to Brian a few times for slowing him down. At the end of the trail, though, yeah, it was bumpy, but there were enough obstacles to keep it interesting, and then you get to the top. And I think Brian's friend was right about the view. The juice was definitely worth the squeeze, and this is probably one of the favorite trails we did during this trip. Once again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care.